Hey there, welcome to the Body and Soul podcast, Extra Healthyish, the big sister podcast to Healthyish. I am your host, Felicity Harley. Now, I'm not sure if you listened to our Healthyish episode about F45's new offering, FS8, with Maghan Fittler. Well, Maghan is going to join us on this episode too. She is a Pilates expert and nutritionist and leads programming design for FS8, which combines Pilates, yoga and tone. Today, I wanted to quiz her about Pilates, its wonderful benefits and key moves that many of us struggle with. Actually, there is just one, and she's going to share her genius tips for nailing it. Maghan, thank you so much for coming on Extra Healthyish. I actually ask this question for everybody who comes on the podcast. How do you stay extra healthyish in your life?
Ooh, okay. I work out all the time. I work out with FS8 3 to 4 times a week. I also do lots of walking and hiking with my boys. We do bike riding, and I'm also very good with my nutrition.
Oh, what do you mean by
80%
good?
Nutrition? Yeah. I'm pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty good. No, we eat really clean, kind of always everything fresh. I don't like, processed foods and things like that. I always try to keep it healthy, fresh. Greens, lots of colors, and just keeping everything healthy from the inside out.
Yeah, I like that motto. Love it. Now, we're talking about, FS8 later, but let's talk about Pilates first, because this is your passion. Now,
this is my thing.
It's your thing. I feel like the pandemic has ignited this bigger movement in Pilates. I mean, I feel like I see it everywhere now. Everyone's getting into it online, wherever, in classes, if you can attend classes. What is the appeal? Do you find it has got more popular?
I think it has, definitely has gotten more popular. People are really kind of shying away from the gym a little bit, and they're getting amazing results using the reformer. So they're doing kind of gym-based movements and reformer Pilates movements on the reformer, and they're getting amazing results. They're out of pain. They're lowering their cortisol levels, which lowers your stress hormones. That's what you store fat with. Yeah. So you're lowering all that. It's a lower impact exercise. I know a lot of people actually don't like to sweat, and that sounds really funny. But Pilates, it's still working hard. You glisten, I like to say. It's
I like that.
A little
glisten.
bit of a sweat. Yeah. I like to say, we're just glistening girls. It's all good.
Yeah.
But we don't have a full sweat. You're not dripping in sweat, but it's hard work. It's challenging, and your body changes. So it's, I think it's the new thing that everyone's is really going to, and they're making the classes pretty fun now.
Yeah. So what are some of the physical benefits? Let's get on to the fun classes later. What are some of the physical benefits?
Physical, yeah. So, first we get out of pain, stress management, injury prevention, beautiful tone, flexibility, stability all throughout the body. We need to be able to move well, especially as we get older. I feel like we do a lot of weight training, but we don't mobilize, right? So we just go in, everyone just goes in stiff, and they're training their body in a stiff movement pattern. And we're just tightening everything up. So with Pilates, we're mobilizing and then strengthening, then stabilizing. So everything's working just beautifully. And the results that you get with the body is just amazing. So it's just long, lean, beautiful muscles.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that lovely? Long, lean, beautiful muscles. It sounds...
That's what we all want, right?
Exactly. What about the mental health benefits?
Yes. So many mental health benefits here. So Pilates is all with the breath, right? So everything's about breathing. So breathing deep into a lateral breath. So the rib cage expands into the lungs. It's just really calming. So if you've ever been to a Pilates class, you've thought about nothing else but your neutral spine, your breath, what you're doing, you're lengthening, you're tightening, all of this stuff. You haven't thought about your kids, your grocery list, your house is dirty, nothing else. So it's just a really awesome mind-body connection that you leave, and you've just done something for yourself for an hour.
Yeah.
Which I love.
And it's grounding, isn't it?
It is grounding, and it's relaxing. You leave and you don't feel exhausted from the workout. Some of the HIIT classes that we do, just you leave and you're like, wow, I just feel shattered from that.
Yes.
Because it was just so much energy. Yeah. You just don't have that with Pilates. You feel energized and you're ready to seize the day.
So how should we use Pilates with, say, HIIT? If we do enjoy HIIT, how should our week look? How should we mesh the two?
Again, it depends on those goals that you're looking for. So, love a HIIT, two times a week for me is good for a HIIT. Rest of the days, I'm doing reformer Pilates or mat Pilates, and then also including hikes and walks and different things outdoors that I love to do with my family because we're very outdoorsy. So loved connecting with nature as well. So I have a nice kind of variety and, different things that I do that I enjoy, and I keep moving. I don't feel like I'm doing anything, like I don't want to do. I'm doing everything that I want to do, which I think makes it easier. So I'm enjoying it.
Mixing it up.
Yeah. Not doing the same thing every day.
Now, you've taught Pilates for many years.
Yes.
What I feel like, is there any moves that you see people struggle with, and what's your advice to correcting this?
Probably the main one I see that is most common is a plank.
Yeah, the humble plank is so hard.
The humble plank, I know. And people just struggle, and a lot of people can't do it because they have wrist pain.
Yes.
Well, the thing with the wrist pain is, unless they have an actual injury, they're actually trying to power up using their arms rather than their core. So people actually get into the wrong position with the plank. So my advice would be, try it on your forearms first and actually strengthen your core. Don't try to overachieve and, have your back up and your bum up and everything just to try to hold the plank. Do it correctly and actually work the core, because it's like one of the best exercises. People just struggle and they can't do it. And then they have wrist pain the whole time. So yeah, just try it on the forearms, strengthen the core, because that's where it's at.
And it's also, it's hard to know when your bum's up or down as well, isn't it? Sometimes I'm like, is my bum too high, or does it need to come down? Or how do you kind of sense check this?
Yeah, well, I mean, if I'm instructing you, I'll go down and push your hips down. But
well, there we go.
Like if you're doing it by yourself, like you should feel that core engagement. When your bum's too high, you won't feel it. You'll just feel all the pressure in through your shoulders.
Okay, good.
So you want to get the bum down, shift that weight off the shoulders, and get it all into the core. So I think people just really struggle with that.
Now, actually, that's a good point. When you're at home, and a lot of us are working from home, sitting at home all day. What are a few moves that we can stretch out our body? I mean, you can always get down in a plank halfway through your work. Sure, go for it. But is there anything else that we should do?
Yes, amazing. So this is a great one. So hip flexor stretches. Since we're sitting, our hip flexors get quite tight. So stretching out those hip flexors, and then I would do some extension work. So backward. So laying prone on your belly, hands out to the side or in front of you, and then just lifting the chest up off the floor, keeping the belly button drawn in to support the spine, and then lowering back down. So just because we're sitting in flexion. So we need to do extension work so our spine stays nice and strong, and we're in terrible posture. Most of us sitting, and we're on computers hunched forward. So you can even release your chest, release your hip flexors, and then do some beautiful extension work. And then you can go into a plank if you want to. If you want to take if you have a longer lunch break. Yeah, I know. If you have a longer lunch break, yeah, for sure. But extension work, definitely every person needs to do extension work.
We'll be back after this short break with more from Maghan. And so how should this, should we do this once a day or twice a day, or when should we how should we mix this into our work day at home?
Yeah, once a day. Halfway through, maybe a mid-morning, whenever you have a mid-morning break or afternoon break, stretch the hip flexors, do some back extensions, and then maybe even stabilize the core.
Okay,
and then
good
hop
advice.
back up. Yeah, hop back up, and then you should have a little energized boost there.
Yeah, and off you go. The next round of Zoom meetings. Yeah,
that's right.
Now, talking about classes, for anyone who's listening who hasn't taken a Pilates class, what should we know before rocking up?
To FS8 classes?
Yeah.
Or just the Pilates class?
Yeah, well, let's talk about FS8, because that's your thing at the moment.
That's my thing. Yeah. So when you come, I'd like you guys to come 10 to 15 minutes before the class, meet the instructor, let them know if you have any injuries or things that they need to know about so they can progress or regress your exercises. And then they can know ahead of time. You can see where your stuff goes, see the reformer and the way the class is going to move. And then, go.
Off you
You'll
go.
Love it.
Yeah. Actually, while we're on FS8, for people who didn't listen to your episode with Healthyish, can you give us a quick rundown of what it's all about?
Yeah. So it's just this amazing new program that we've incorporated with Pilates, yoga, and tone. Super excited about it. It's an amazing workout. We've incorporated all three modalities. So we're doing flexibility, stability, strength, all in the one class. It's a workout that you're not going to get anywhere else.
And how many, is it 45 minutes, the same as F45?
The work, it was an hour, but 45 minutes of work. Yeah.
And can you just talk us through the tone bit? What does this mean?
Oh, it's basically strength training, which is awesome. So you got your squat presses, you've got your deadlifts, you've got lunges, you've got reverse lunges, abdominal work, everything, hip thrusts, chest presses, It's all there.
So I feel
So you're
like
still getting
all these combined, you're just going to have amazing benefits for your body.
amazing. So you're on the reformer. You get to do some tones of strength-based exercises, and then you finish with beautiful yoga.
Lovely.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing.
Now, if you are a Pilates devotee, if you like going to either Pilates class or FS8, what are your top tips for getting the most out of these classes?
Yeah, I think learn the reformer, guys. It's really important. If you weight train, you lift, say, 10 pounds or 10 kilos for your arms, right? With the reformer, the springs are weighted. So learn what you're on, see yourself improve. Think of it as the weight machine, because that's when you see yourself improve and your strength's improving, and you can learn where you're at and where you can develop and improve in certain areas. So you get the most out of your workout. So you can do last month, I did it on a blue spring, which is our lightest spring. Now moving up to our yellow spring, which is a medium spring. So you're getting a little bit stronger and you're able to see yourself improve. I think seeing that improvement is most important.
Now, let's talk about you. You've been into Pilates for many, many years. What attracted you to Pilates in the first place? I mean, you used to have your own business, or you still do?
Yes, I still do. So I've been in Pilates for over 15 years. Back in my younger years, I was a professional cheerleader in America, and I was the girl they threw up in the air. I did a double backflip, came down, no one caught me, landed on my spine.
What?
So yes.
Was this when you were at school or you college or?
I was in college. I was at uni. Yes.
Okay.
And
wow.
Yeah, so went to Pilates for rehab. I saw chiros, physios, you name it. It wasn't helping me. So someone was like, you should try Pilates. And I was like, okay, well, I'll try anything because my back hurts. So I went there and I was amazed. I fell in love with the reformer. I fell in love with Pilates, the way that it helped me and move. I was in so much pain and I just wanted to help everybody get out of pain as well. So that's kind of how I originally got into it, right? Was for just helping people get out of pain. Then I saw what else the reformer could do. Once I got trained in it. I got trained in the full studio and the Cadillac and the chair and everything. And yeah, just fell in love, started bringing my own flair into it, bringing more gym-based moves on there and using it. And now I just do that all the time.
And are you cured of pain? Do you still have any recurrent?
I don't.
Wow.
I don't.
Okay, that's great.
If I do a lot of jumping or any type of movements like that, my pelvis doesn't stabilize properly still. If I do a lot of it, like compounding movements, it will flare up, but I don't do that anymore. I just avoid it.
Now, what you might talk us through your weekly fitness routine. You've got 3 kids, 3 young boys, and a business, and that sounds like a busy life. So how do you fit fitness in and around it?
Girl, I get up before they wake up. I'm an early riser. So I'm like, if I don't do it in the morning, it doesn't get done.
Yeah. What time?
That's my thing.
You're not one of these 5 a.m.ers. Okay.
I mean, I'm up at 5, but probably doing my thing. By the time I get there, it's 6 a.m.
Okay. And what does your week look like? What does your weekly routine look like?
Well, I do FS8 3 to 4 times a week. So I get to those classes. I try to get there early, the earliest classes that they have. And then throughout the week, I will do some HIIT stuff that I just do on my own at home. And then from there, I take my kids out. We do a lot of bike riding. The scooter, I have an adult scooter, so I scooter with them.
Oh, fun.
It's really fun. I know. I think I have more fun than them. And we go for hikes. We love nature. My kids love it. So we do a lot of hiking and stuff around. So I usually move every single day.
Yeah.
Whether it's a scooter ride or a bike ride or a FS8 or a HIIT, something, then yeah. Always moving.
Yeah. And now just lastly, for anyone who's keen on trying FS8, what's your top tip for perhaps getting the most out of the classes?
Yeah, I think just learning the reformer is probably the main thing, because the mat Pilates and the tone they're quite functional moves.
Yeah.
So like a squat press, I feel like that's, everyone can kind of know how to do that or can learn that quite quickly.
Yeah.
Where when you learn the reformer, you can get the best out of the reformer because you learn how it works. You learn how to move it. You learn what your body can do and how far you can push it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So once you come, just be open to it. And if you're used to doing HIIT classes, don't be surprised if you're not sweating like a normal HIIT session. It's a different type of sweat, like we glisten, right?
Yeah, they glisten.
It's hard work. You're going to burn. You're going to be sore the next day. It's just focus on the movements, slowing those movements down. That's what Pilates is about. So focusing the breath with the slow movements, it burns. It's hard work. When you go really fast, Sometimes you miss and you compensate with those bigger muscles, where Pilates really brings in every single muscle that's supposed to be working.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's so hard, right? Because you're not compensating with those big quads. You're not compensating with your upper traps. Like you actually have to use those tiny little transverse abdominal muscles that, you know what I mean? Like that we forget about. So yeah, just really focusing, slowing your moves down and embracing what it's about, because it is slower. It is a lower impact, but it's still hard, still challenging. You will still sweat. But yeah, like just embrace what it has to offer. It is really amazing.
Well, Maghan, thank you so much for coming on Extra Healthyish.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, that cheerleading accident sounds pretty brutal, but Maghan is a walking example of the power of Pilates in not only healing pain, but healing your body as well. Thanks a lot for listening to this chat with Maghan. If you want more from us at Body & Soul, jump online at bodyandsoul.com.au or follow us on Facebook or Instagram. If you want more podcasts, make sure you download other episodes of Extra Healthyish or our other podcast, Healthyish, which we drop those every morning, Monday to Friday. Thanks again for tuning in. And if you have a moment, we'd be so grateful if you could rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. And until tomorrow, stay extra healthyish.